Hello. I see that we already have 3 people. Welcome. We're gonna kick things off in 2 minutes. So great time to grab yourself some water, get cozy, because I kick things off in a second. In the meantime, you can even write in the chat where you're joining us from. I'm currently broadcasting to you from Da Nang, Vietnam. So feel free to write in the chat where you're joining us from. Hello, everybody. I'm seeing that more people are joining up. So, hello. Happy to have you. We're going to kick things off in literally a couple of minutes. In the meantime, you can write in the chat where you're joining us from. I'm seeing that we got Alan. Alan, happy to have you, mate. As always, first one to show up. Shivani, good to see you, my dear. All right. Noam is in the house. Alon, good to see you guys. As I said, we're going to kick things off in literally a couple of minutes. Today we have a special session. First time we're going streaming, first time we're going live. This session is going to be recorded, by the way. So if you ever want to access this, or if you guys are watching the recording, it's amazing to see. We're going to have an exciting session today. We're going to kick things off in literally a minute or two. I'm seeing that people are keep on joining. Hello, everybody who's just joined. As I said, we're going to kick things off in a minute or two. So grab water. If you want to quickly go to the toilet, this will be your best time. Let me also share my screen in the meantime. Let me know if you guys can. All right. Give me a thumbs up or a yes in the comments so I know that you guys are seeing the deck. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you guys for the feedback. Good. I see the people are keep on joining, so welcome everybody who just joined. As I said, feel free to write in the chat where you're joining us from. We're about to begin very soon to talk about one of the most exciting topics, I believe, in the AI era. And this is the topic of expression and communication. What I believe would be one of the biggest differentiators for human beings moving forward. And today, we're going to break down a unique model for you that was never being displayed before. So I'm personally extremely excited to share this one with you tonight. And thank you all for joining us today. We're going to take it exactly 60 seconds before we jump in. If you're just joining right now, Welcome, everybody. My name is Ty. We are going to talk today about the expression gap, which is a new model that brings the world of breathwork, communication in a more applicable and holistic way than was ever being done before. So, thank you for joining. Feel free to write down in the chat where you're joining us from. I'm seeing people from Ireland, people from Thailand, Vietnam, people from Denmark. Amazing, amazing. Okay, so folks, without further ado, let's dive in. And if this is your first time being with us, welcome. If this is not your first time being part of the Public Speaking Club or the Expression Lab, welcome back. I just want to say before we dive in that for me, this is an amazing and exciting sessions because the model that I'm going to show you today is one that I've been personally working on for the last couple of months. And it all started with one simple question that I was asking myself. And this question was, what is the biggest challenge, the biggest difficulty people in today's world are having with communication? And after quite a while, I was reflecting maybe it's the language, maybe it's confidence, maybe it's calmness, but it was still not capturing that there is a gap. There is a gap in your thoughts, your feelings, and what we are able to express. And in today's session, I'm going to break down what exactly this thing that is holding us back from fully expressing yourself. And if this is not a motivation for you, let me tell you this. In today's era, they can write your email, they can craft your CV, they can edit your videos. Human beings' biggest differential by far is the ability to fully express yourself. It's the ability to gain trust and connect with the people around you. And this is a skill that most people just don't have. And the ones that are going to master this skill moving forward, one that are going to differentiate themselves. Period. And everything we do around the Public Speaking Club, the different communities, is to help people close this gap, to help people articulate and express themselves in job interviews, in presentations, in talks, but even equally as important when you talk to your partner, when you talk to your friends. Your ability to reach out and grab the emotions, the feelings, the thoughts that you have, and able to fully present them to the people or the one person or people around you is essence. And not only that it's an important skill, but also a very big problem and cause of pain. Because I'm talking to so many people that are telling me, Ty, I was going to this interview and I was panicking and I just couldn't express myself. And then 5 minutes after I left the room, all of a sudden I told myself, why didn't I say this? Why wasn't I more comfortable? And they start blaming themselves and feeling angry and upset and so many emotions that are just, they don't have to be there. They just don't have to be there. And in today's model, what we're going to talk about today, I genuinely hope to give you this gift of bridging this gap. Because I can tell you firsthand that I closed this gap for myself, being able to reach to my feelings, my thoughts, emotions, and able to express them fully. And I made it my life mission to help as many people as possible worldwide to do the same. So, been in the communication space for a couple of years now. I used to work for Google, but in the last couple of years, I'm doing communication coaching. Lately, I've become a breathwork facilitator, and I'm also the founder and CEO of the Public Speaking Club. I had the presence of the best professionals on the planet from Google, Salesforce, professors from Harvard, TEDx speakers, and whatnot. And I'm sharing this with you because I've been dealing with one burning question. And this is, what is the biggest pain people are experiencing around communication? And the truth is, if you're going to go on YouTube right now and type communication coaching, communication tips, public speaking, etc., all you're going to find is tips about body language, eye contact, four best ways to open a conversation. Those things that they have impact, but if we're being honest, is this the biggest pain point? Is this the biggest problem people are facing with communication? Absolutely not. And it took me so long to understand why this is not something that is being brought to topic, this holistic approach. And I realized there's few people that can fully grasp the challenge people are facing with communication. Where does it come from? And in today's session, as I said, I guarantee you that you're going to leave with a full, comprehensive understanding of why, when you're approaching an interview, when you are approaching a presentation, you're feeling all these emotions and what will be the right way and also the wrong way to approach. So, session expression gap circle from the negative side. So we're going to understand what most people on this planet are doing when it comes to expression and why does it not work. This is literally 99% of people. And then I'm going to show you the right way, the holistic way, how you should approach expression. And then it's not only going to be theoretical. I'm going to leave you today with 3 practical protocols as for how you should approach expression that you can apply tomorrow's morning. So not all high. We're going to keep it on the practical and applicable. And then we're going to talk a little bit about how you can keep on growing after this session. All right. Understanding a communication event. For example, let's imagine you are sitting in your office and your manager comes to you and tell you, hey, next week on Tuesday, you're going to go on stage and talk to 100 people. In this particular moment, an event starts. So a communication event or expression event doesn't start when you go on stage or enter an interview. It happens in the very first moment you're having an awareness to the event. So when this event naturally rising. Write down in the chat right now, if you had to go and give a presentation to 100 people next week, what would be the emotions you would feel towards the event? Write it right now in the chat. What emotions, what feelings would you feel? Would you be scared? Would you be excited? I'm seeing people saying anxiety, scared. Yeah, so we are experiencing all of those feelings. We're feeling anxious, we're feeling scared, intimidation, a mixture of a lot of different feelings. And let me tell you this is something not a lot of people understand fully. Losing control, nervous, yes. Most people are trying to battle those emotions. They think they're only standing in their way to reach their goals. But let me tell you this, your emotions are not just there by coincidence. We are wired in a certain way. Your brain is wired in a certain way. And as funny as it may sound, your brain doesn't understand that now it's 2026. It's still wired in the same way our ancestor that were living in the caves is wired. So when you are approaching a communication event, a public speaking, interview, etc., your brain is fearing rejection and criticism. And the reason for that is that if you would think about people in the caves, for them, rejection out of the tribe would sometimes mean death, right? Being outside of the tribe, not having your support system might mean death. So your brain is wired in a way to keep you safe. Here's another thing to remember, your brain is wired to keep you safe, not to keep you successful. So, in order to keep you safe, it's trying to avoid as much as possible from getting rejected or criticism. So, when you are about to go to this interview or presentation, your brain is signaling, whoa, whoa, buddy, we have a problem. I want to keep you safe. Don't go on the stage because you might get criticized from 100 people. This is why those emotions arise. And let me also leave you with something. Emotions, as we often say in the breathwork space, emotions equals energy in motion. Once again, emotions equals energy in motion. And if you ever took a class in physics, you know that energy can't disappear, it can only change form. So let me show you where is this energy going, because it's definitely not disappearing. Physiological sensations are starting to happen. I'm not getting too deep into this, but when your body is feeling, for example, anxiety, it's starting to change its breathing patterns. You breathe more shallow, right? People, when they're panicking, they usually breathe something like this. We might not even notice this. But when we're doing shallow breathe, the level of oxygen in your brain goes up, level of CO2 in your brain goes down, and this is changing the composition of the calcium in your body. Read more about it if you like. But what this does is that it creates tension. Your whole body goes into tension mode. All those three events, so being aware to the event, emotions that are arising through the event, and the tension that is being built are all processes that you have no control over. Your body is generating those emotions and it creates this tension on its own. You have no control over this. So, first takeaway I want you to take from today is that a lot of people are trying to fight the tension or fight the emotions. It's literally impossible. Not only that they're going to be there, usually when you try to push them away, they're going to surface even stronger. And then what most people are doing, wanting to show themselves. For example, a lot of people are approaching job interviews and they're sitting on the outside and they're feeling the stress. They're feeling the stress in their body, they're feeling the tension, and then what they're going to do, they're going to take their phone out and scroll on social media. Or they're going to go downstairs and smoke a cigarette. Or they might feel those feelings the day before and drink something or take drugs or any one of the billion ways we have today to cope with our feelings. Here's another big one for you. The model that I'm going to show you today is very much true for communication, but you're going to see over time that it's applicable for any event that you guys are experiencing in your life that is triggering emotions. And sadly, today we're so used to run away from our feelings. So we go and touch your phone and or smoke something just to not be present with those feelings. But ultimately, this running away is hurting you. And I'm going to show you why. Because in the end of the when you're from your feelings and tension, there is a process of suppression. What does that mean? For example, I'm having an argument with my partner, and a lot of feelings are coming. I might be angry, I might be frustrated, I might be envy, a lot of different feelings. And then instead of dealing with my feelings, I might go and check my phone. And then when I'm going to get to the event, for example, being a hard conversation with your partner, the event might be a job interview. When you are getting to the event, because your nervous system is so not regulated, you're basically suppressing those emotions. You're suppressing those thoughts. And when this process of suppression happens, something else is being brought up. As we just said, energy is not going anywhere, it's just changing form. So if you're not expressing yourself, if you're not sharing your emotions, sharing your thoughts, sharing your ideas, the energy that was supposed to come out as expression is being suppressed. It's staying inside your body. Remember this happening. I said the energy is not going anywhere, it's not disappearing. So if it's not coming outside, it has to stay on the inside. And this energy that is moving within you is being stored in your body. I'm inviting you to do a research on something called fascia. Fascia is essentially a tissue that it is within your body, and this tissue is holding on suppressed emotions. And the biggest concern with suppressed emotions that over time, what might happen if the event or events are very strong, the emotions are very strong, be happening creation of a trauma. So trauma in essence is a strong emotion, strong energy that instead of being taking outside was staying in the body and is stored within your body. It's energy that was stuck in your body. So those traumas might happen decades ago. I know some people that are telling me that when they were 5, 6, 7 years old and they were in first grade and they had a vivid memory of themselves speaking in front of the class and being laughed at. And they couldn't run, they couldn't go anywhere. So the energy, instead of going out, was stuck in their body. And till this day, they have a communication trauma. It sounds just like a detail, but this is something that is defining people's ability to communicate for decades. And trust me, if you have a communication trauma, doesn't matter how many whatever presentation opener you're going to learn or how many times you're going to learn that you need to make eye contact. None of that is going to matter because we have to tap into our emotional aspect, the nervous system regulation. This is ultimately the key to become a powerful communicator. And it's not just about business success. When one is having the ability to fully express itself, your life, and I'm telling you because I felt it, just becomes so much better. There's no lingering feeling. There's no frustration and pain that is being built up. This is nothing short of life changing. So, yes, it will serve you in the interview, it will serve you in the presentation, but it will also serve you in your relationship with your partner. And this is ultimately what we want to create. We want to help people transform their communication ability by being able to express themselves, by being able to show your true colors, your true assets, who you really are to the people around you and to yourself. So let me show you how we do it right. Steps are happening if we want it or not. That is basically follows by emotions, and then there's tension being exactly the same three steps that we had in the previous model. But now we have the ability to impact. We have the ability to change those emotions and tension. How? Instead of coping mechanisms, so mechanisms that are meant to distract you from your feelings, what we're going to do is we're going to equip resources. The stage called resourcing. What does resourcing mean? Resourcing means you're holding on to elements around you and within you that will support you in this communication event. So I'm going to later on show you a specific protocol of how you can resource yourself, but we're talking about models, ways to feel more safe within your body to then being able to express yourself. Suppression, it's expression. It means that when you are getting to the event, the communication event, you're able to fully close this gap between what you want to say, your thoughts, your ideas, and what is actually coming out. And in today's session, I'm also going to show you what are the two components that you need to master to close this gap. Huge, and nobody does this. It's processing. So you maybe went to a job interview and the job interview was absolutely shit. What are you doing afterwards? Are you doing something about it? Or are you going back to touching your phone or just going on Netflix or smoking a cigarette or whatever just to forget about it? No. Those, as I said, those emotions are feeling, they're still there. And they need you to to process them. Often in the space of trauma, they said that two people might experience the exact same event, but one will have a trauma and one won't. And the main difference between them is their ability to process in real time or after what happened. So, my invitation to you from now onwards, every event that you have, start and process it. And again, today I'm going to show you a specific protocol, what you can do after every single communication event to help processing. We just spoke about correctly. So you were resourcing yourself, you were expressing yourself fully, and you were processing the event. If you were doing all elements in the right order, what you're going to experience is one of the best sensations ever, and it's relief. It means that the energy from the event came to you, was in your body, you were able to express it, and now it's no longer lingering. Especially when we come to talk about emotional events, such conversation with your partner. If you have feelings that you're not expressing and you're suppressing, trust me when I say those feelings are not going any, they're going to stay there and they're going to hurt. And being able to express yourself fully will provide you with such a relief that might change your life. And this is a habit. It's not something that is easy. I'm not showing you this model saying, oh, it's very easy to do that. It's absolutely not. Often it's a very painful and uncomfortable process. But if you're going to do this protocol correctly, it might change your life forever. Sorry, it not even might, it will change your life forever. And the interesting thing about all of this is actually not a cycle. Every event you're encountering is a new opportunity to choose one of the two paths we just spoke about. You can go on to the defense mechanism, coping mechanism, suppressing your feelings, emotions, and thoughts, put it away. It's all being stored in your body and eventually might create a trauma. So going down in the spiral, or you can choose the positive route of resourcing, expression, processing, and relief. And this is not a one time. It's not a one time thing. This is happening all the time. Every time you are approaching a communication event or any expression event whatsoever, you have the chance to choose if you want to go up the spiral or down the spiral. And you have control over these three elements: resourcing, expression, and processing. And if you are going to choose the right path, everything changes. Because if somebody here was studying psychology, you may have seen this slide before, but this one is it's called the polyvagal diagram. And this is explaining what your body, your nervous system is feeling when you're under stress. So we essentially have three levels, three areas we might be in. One is social engagement. This is the fun, easy one. This is you sitting in a coffee with your partner and talk about something fun. So it's casual, nice, feeling warm, chatty, very nice. Ultimately, in a job interview, for example, this is where you want to be. You want to be in the social engagement area. However, when those emotions kick in and we are not able to control them, we move into what we call fight or flight mode. This is a protection mechanism your body has to keep you safe. As I said, being rejected can be impacting you, your brain, the same way a threat of death will, because as we said, the brain is wired that way. So you move into fight or flight mode. This is why you're getting panicked. You might fear, you might have anxiety, or for some people, it might be rage or irritation or frustration being building up. And if you're not going to take care and implement what we're talking about, you're moving into freeze. Some of you might be in freeze. So this is the feeling that you basically can't. This is the moving from I can to I can't. I can't go on stage. I can't go into this job interview. You feel paralyzed. This is happening because you don't have full control over your nervous system. But there is a solution. You can have control over your nervous system. You just have to choose the right path. And what is happening, this is the amazing thing. When you are choosing the right circle, the right expression gap, two things are happening. One, every time you're going to go through this cycle, and it's going to be a positive one, your brain is going to get a positive reinforcement. It means that your body is going to understand that it's safe to go on stage. It's safe to go on an interview. It's safe to talk to a group of 5 people in a party. It's safe. And the more positive reinforcement, the more reassurance your brain is going to receive, the better it's going to position itself on this diagram. It means that the next time you're going to go to an interview, you're already going to be lower on the diagram. And if you do it 10 times, you're going to be much lower on the diagram. And it's not the only benefit. If you are going to do this repeatedly, your ability to adapt to change will also increase. It means that if, for example, you're being faced with an unexpected question, you're not going to spiral up. You're not going to go up and panic. You're going to be able to regulate yourself, move slowly on the diagram. Take this as an invitation from me to you to choose to position yourself correctly on the diagram. Choose to protect your nervous system and give it this positive reinforcement. If you want to do this for yourself, comment here in the chat. I want this. Comment here in the chat. I want this. If you're willing to commit to do the work and work on regulating your nervous system because your nervous system is important to you, write down in the chat. So it's going to be public. It's not just going to be you. Okay. How do we close the gap? Right? How do we close the gap? This gap, as I said, or even but it's basically up 3 components. It's up to resourcing yourself, it's up to having full expression, and it's up to having the ability to process the events. Let's see how we are going to do this. And as I said, this is not just theory. I'm going to teach you practical protocols to how we're doing this. Olivia, I'm seeing that you're asking about resourcing. This is literally our next slide. Thank you for this. Resourcing. What is resourcing? Resourcing, it's your ability to self-regulate yourself. It's to self-equip yourself with tools that are going to help you feel safe. Couple of examples that are coming to mind. First of all, some people are thinking that vocal warm-up is only reserved for singers, but it's far from true. If you have a big presentation that you need to make, you have to make sure your vocal cords are being warmed up. But this have a wonderful secondary effect. It's being shown that when you're doing voice warm-up, you are activating what is called the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is a nerve that is going around here in the back of your neck, and it's in charge of regulating your nervous system and keeping you calm. It means that when you are doing a vocal warm up, you are helping yourself to calm down and relax and also being prepared. One method. Second, probably my favorite, is breath work. Breath work changed my life. It absolutely changed my life. And I think a lot of people are not really aware of what it is breath work. They might think about somebody sitting down on the ground doing and doing a little bit of breathing. But breathwork is a huge space with so many techniques, anything from 3 minutes in the morning of just a little bit of breathwork to something more intermediate like Wim Hof, 478, box breathing, that is more for regulation, all the way to rebirthing or shamanic breathwork that are helping you to process traumas in events that sometimes can take up to a couple of hours. But you will choose the right breathwork technique that is right for you. Couple of recommendations from me. For example, if you have a presentation coming up tomorrow, 5, 10, 15 minutes before the beginning of the event, sit down, close your eyes. Take a couple of deep inhales through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Let's do one together so you can just feel how it feels like. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Right now with me, I'm inviting you to close your eyes or gaze down. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. One more time. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth with a sigh. And one last time, make it count. Inhale for the nose and fully exhale for the mouth. If you've done this with me, I bet that you already feel a certain improvement. There's a certain sense of calmness. And this is just through 3 breaths. Imagine what it's like to do this for 10 minutes. I promise you, it would help your nervous system regulate itself in ways you never imagined. And last is something we often refer to as comfort resource or resourcing meditation. It simply means to keep in mind something that makes you feel good. So, right now, I want you to think, and if you want, I'm inviting you to write down in the chat what is the first thing that is coming to your mind that makes you smile? Maybe it's your dog, maybe it's your partner, maybe it's going to the beach, maybe it's eating something tasty, eating pizza. So, what is one thing that that makes you smile immediately? Write down in the chat. Before this event, I want you to think food and partner. Beautiful. Thank you, Alan. I want you to think of this. Simply by bringing this to your eyesight, you are already regulating yourself because your mind is focusing on things that are nurturing. All right. So, vocal warm up, breath work, with comfort resourcing, and there's many more ways, but do this every single time you're approaching a communication event. Right. Essentially, if you want to close the gap between what you want to say and what you're actually saying, there is two big components that are building this. One is the mental state you're at. We talked a lot today about mental state, the nervous system. Nobody talks about this. People think that communication comes down to building good narrative or having nice slides. This couldn't be further from the truth. If you want to be a good communicator, you have to first be able to contain yourself, to regulate yourself. You can have a very bad body language and very bad narrative, but if you're going to be on stage calm, confident, I promise you, your performance are going to be 10 times better than anybody else. You can have a mediocre delivery, but a very good ability to regulate yourself, and you are going to win this game of communication in the AI era. I give you my word. But unfortunately, so many coaches, so many communities, they're only focusing on the delivery, on what the way you're saying things. And this is wrong. And I encourage you to keep diving in this journey is for how you maintain your feelings. And then when you already have the sensation of I am calm, I am confident, I'm regulating myself, only then go through the delivery. And this is what usually separates between mediocre to good speakers to the best ones. It's the ability to move a slide. On your delivery, there's 3 main components. One is your body language. How do you use your body? This is accounts. There's a research being done by Albert Mehabian. This accounts for about 55% of the impact of your communication. Second is your tonality, meaning the way you are using your voice. If you're being monotone, if you're using a really low voice, your ability to capture people's attention and express yourself to them is going to be low. So, working on your tonality, this accounts for 38% of your messages. And lastly, it's about the delivery, meaning the words you're choosing, the narratives you're building. Work on these 3, you're going to excel your delivery. And lastly, and this is probably the most important one, I can talk for 50 hours about delivery and nervous system regulation and all of those things. But in the end of the day, your ability to get better at expression comes from one main thing, and it's your body's ability to get positive reinforcement. So, as I said, if we want to go up the spiral, you have to provide your nervous system with positive reinforcement. And this can only happen with practice. Did you hear me? There's no shortcuts. You can pay thousands of euros to somebody to teach you, but there's no shortcuts. The same way that if you want to build muscle, you have to go to the gym for months. There's no shortcuts. If you want to get better at expression, you have to practice. And practicing is not just you talking to the mirror, because this doesn't stimulate the nervous system. It means that you have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations as often as possible. So, talk in the next team meeting, go to a public speaking club, go to, I don't know, a men's circle, a female circle, and talk with like minded people about deep things. Practice the ability to feel uncomfortable. And the more comfortable you're going to feel being uncomfortable, I give you my word, the better the nervous system will react and the better communicator you're going to be. Right. And lastly, processing. So, as I said, is ultimately the ability to you to comprehend and understand the event that you're experiencing, especially from an emotional point of view. So now, as an exercise, I'm inviting you to write down in the chat, what is one thing only, that you are taking from today's session? One thing, one takeaway, something new that you may have learned, one single thing you're taking from today's session. Please write down in the chat. And while you're doing this, I'll tell you that there's a couple of very easy ways that you can process events. One is journaling, so writing down. This is a fantastic way. So you can write down in your diary. You can write down in the notebook, for example, every time you're going to a job interview. What was working? What was not working? How did I feel? Process this. I personally recommend to do this in handwriting. Handwriting usually helps you process better. Second is drawing. And this one is an interesting. We do this a lot in breath work. So you might take a piece of paper and just paint or draw how you feel. You would be surprised. I was very skeptical about this at first, but sometimes to express your emotions, just drawing, you don't have to be a painter or a very skillful artist. My partner, she's an artist, she's doing amazing in that. But sometimes all you need is just to sketch, to already express and process your emotions. And lastly, sometimes a good conversations can also do the trick. So calling a friend, calling a parent, calling somebody close, and tell them, hey, friend, today I had an interview and I was feeling a little frustrated that I wasn't fully being able to express myself. And I do want to do a better job in body language, whatever. So expressing this out loud, processing those thoughts with somebody else is highly recommended if you want to go for the process of processing. I'm seeing some beautiful answers here. Incorporating breathwork in preparation. Thank you, Kamel. Alon was saying your brain is designed to keep you safe, not successful. Absolutely. Noam says definitely breathwork. Okay, I'm seeing some beautiful answers here. So thank you for that, for sharing. And as I said, this is a journey. This is not a one and done. And the more practice you're going to put in resourcing, expression, and processing, the better reinforcement the system is going to be, and the better you are going to be. Okay. Invitation to all of you, the one of you that are not in there yet. How we launch a new community. It's called the Expression Lab. The Expression Lab is ultimately a hub. It's ultimately a hub where we are sharing with the world the gift of expression. And this gift is for free. I'm seeing that the connection is a little bad. Okay. I hope you guys heard me. I saw that the connection was a little bit bad. But as I said, the Expression Lab is ultimately a space to provide people with tools to help with their expression. And let me just say first, this is absolutely free. It's absolutely free. The access to the community, I just send you a link in the chat. You also have it in the description. It's a hub for you to have resources to start and learn how to express yourself better. So every single week, we're going to have the streaming that we're having right now. So same day, same time, I'm going to be here teaching you new methodologies every single week for free. And the idea is simple. We want to gift you this gift of expression. As I said, this changed my life. my ability to be in touch with my feelings, my ability to be in touch with my emotions, my thoughts, and ideas, and being able to fully express them, articulate them, changed my life forever. And I made it my life mission to do the same for as many people as possible. So I'm strongly advised and recommending you to join this hub. There's going to be resources, videos, articles, etc. We're going to have live sessions every Tuesday. This is a gift to you if you choose to take it. I really hope to see you there. Quote that essentially says the communication works for those who works at it. It's not just a a switch. It's not just a video that you watch and all of a sudden your life is different. Communication, such as any other skill, works for those who put the effort in making it work. So put yourself out there, feel the uncomfortableness. I'm telling you, it's going to change your life. Let me go back for you to see me. Before we end, we got we got a little bit of time in the chat. I want to say, first of all, thank you for all for showing up today. Thank yourself for putting the effort and improving and learning and expressing yourself better today. You've made a great step in the right direction. I would love to hear in the chat, is there something that you like, something that you want to improve for next time? I'm genuinely open for suggestions because we want to make this as best as possible. This was the first session today, first out of many. So it's important for me personally to know how can I be better for you. And if you're already here, by the way, we're building our YouTube channel. So if you have the time and energy and need and want, I'm inviting you to also subscribe to the page. Apart from the live sessions, I'm also posting regular videos on communication, nervous system regulation, all the good stuff. So I'm inviting you to also subscribe to the page. I'm always here for you. If you need anything, please reach out to me on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on email, whatever thing is best for you. I'm here to help you and support you on your journey of expression. And on that note, a genuine thank you from the bottom of my heart to each and every one of you for showing up today. It means the world. I'm seeing a lot of love in the comments. Thank you guys. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you guys for this. All right, folks. So on that note, the time right now, by the way, is 12:45 a.m., meaning slightly after midnight for me here in Vietnam. So I'm going to go to bed. It's about time. But honestly, thank you again for showing up. Thank you for the love in the chat and support. Really, it means a lot that you're showing up today. And as I said, we're going to do this every single week, every Tuesday, 6 p.m. UK time, for us to keep on learning and growing. I highly recommend you to join the school community that we just built. And if it feels right, you can also share this with your friends, family, and colleagues that might also need to express themselves better. We're here for everybody. So thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic evening. Ciao.